everybody.
I am here. So excited to be here.
And Chris Cloud. Hey, Chris. Wow, man. How you doing?
It's a long time making. Glad to be here.
Thank you all for watching and supporting.
I am just a big patriot and lover of freedom. And
I'm coming to you guys from what I call the front line of the heartland.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Open Fire Show. This is the host, Daryl McKell-Brooks, with other host, Rebecca Boyd. And hey,
hello.
Rebecca, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Daryl. How about you? You've been busy.
Oh, yeah. I've been, Virginia, back and forth, and Arlington and Alexandria. And we have it's just been a trying thing. I was so happy to get out of Virginia. How was your
Yeah, I
weekend?
bet.
Yeah. So we have Mr. Donald Scoggins. He's running for mayor of Baltimore. Welcome.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me all right?
Yes,
Yeah,
we can hear you.
you fine.
Good. I guess you think I'm crazy, huh?
Oh, no, listen, someone has to do it.
Someone
You
has to
know,
do it. Yep.
yeah, I mean, it's Baltimore, with the violence, and we did talk over the phone, the violence and the education and all the things that the problems that they have, and in the business part.
Mhm.
It needs some real true leadership. And it's the
Yeah.
left have been controlling Baltimore for years. The
Mhm.
Democratic Party.
Yeah. What what I was going to say is that as we all know, and the young lady to your left, to your right, she wasn't around when Baltimore started floundering. But actually, I think back in the mid to late '60s is when the decline in Baltimore really kind of got started, and it was with the what they call the Great Society or the War on Poverty. I think that I was just thinking about that today talking to someone. I think that the federal government to me was a little bit perhaps too aggressive, and a lot of their social policies were based on politics versus what was really best for the community as I look back on it, because that was when I would say when the rapid decline of the Black family started, because they came up with policies that did not discourage. I mean, they did not encourage families staying together. It was almost a incentive to break up families because uh, benefits were given to the mother versus, and then if there was a man in the household, that would interfere with them getting the benefits. So what it did was it just sort of caused people to split up, and and as a result, and I hate to say this, but many times it was easier for, well, if both persons were unemployed, so to speak, mother and father were unemployed, the mother got sort of a safety net, so to speak, of the check, that she was receiving. But the male did not get any. He was kind of like out in the cold, so to speak. So that really encouraged the breakup of the family, and it caused friction because she had income and he did not have an income. So they split up and everything. And then the man with no income, what did he do? They go out and they get involved in some criminal activity, which we don't need to, we don't need to revisit it, but everyone knows the story from there. It created a heightened what is it increased the incarceration rate, and just one thing led to the next. It was a combination of issues, and in a place like Baltimore is sort of an example of what has happened in many urban areas across the country. And what I would like to do is at least put some type of strategic plan in place to take care of that, at least to approach taking care of it, because I'm probably not going to live to see it get better. And but I think that we need to start getting on track to solve the problems. It seems like it's been easier just to ignore the problems than to just bite the bullet and get involved in what's really necessarily do the hard work. Everybody wants to just keep kicking, as I say, kicking the can down the road, and it just keeps getting worse.
Mhm.
What would you say you think the policy would be that would help to start fixing the issue of the breakdown of the family?
Well, I'm gonna be kind of bold. I have something in mind that I haven't really formulated it yet because I'm going to get the people who are better than me at crafting policy. But what I would like to do is create ways to bring the family together, even if you had to. And this may sound very bold and very, you know, I don't know how it would sound, but I would rather come up with a way to get funds to the mother and father so they can stay together. In other words, it's I guess they do it. They have a check that goes to the mother. I'm not familiar with how the assistance is dispersed, but I would make it so that both mother I would like to say husband and wife, but I can't, nowadays look like that's an oxymoron, but I would say I would like to make sure that the mother and father got a stipend to help deal with the child, and they could and in that way they could both go out and get housing in both their names. Both names would be on the lease. It doesn't have to be just in a mother's name to be both their names. And if he
Mhm.
got a job, if the man or woman, because it could be vice versa, if the man or woman or whoever was the other person got a job, it wouldn't interfere with the benefits they would get, because some people were afraid to even try to get a job because that would interfere with their benefits.
Right.
So, question. We're 2024. What's it like being a Republican running for mayor of Baltimore?
Well, you know what? I tell people just like I would imagine, just like anybody else, because I don't look at it as being, even though I'm a Republican, I feel that the solutions that I would offer are common sense solutions. So they're really not Republican or Democrat. They're just what makes sense, common sense, pragmatic solutions. Now,
Mhm.
uh, normally, I really don't know. I mean, because since I've never been a Democrat, so I can't tell you what it was like being a Democrat. But from observation, I've noticed that the Democratic Party, they seem to, whatever the problem is, they want to come up with a program to address it,
Mhm.
and they're big on attempting to address the symptoms versus the cause. And I'm just the opposite. I like to whatever's causing the problem, I want to tackle that first. And I'm a big proponent of maybe giving not giving but providing people uh, heavy dose of medicine at the beginning, so that at the end you can eliminate that, because a lot of the young people that you see that are causing mayhem in our communities, if their parents, in many cases, they are the offspring of parents who they themselves were not raised correctly. We're going in. I was just mentioning to someone, we're going into a 3 generations of dysfunctional families situation, and we need to just bite the bullet and put a pin to that so that we can kind of uh, stop that progression, stop this generational dysfunction, because it only gets worse. It just compounds, because as I've been campaigning, I've talked to some people, and when I kind of indicate what I would like to do, is almost like talking Greek to them, because they don't know some of these things, like when it comes to having discipline and various things. And I talk to some of the young men. I do it in a sort of appropriate way. I try not to insult people, but I kind of mention to them they have to be responsible with their procreation, if you know what I mean, and so that they are not uh, irresponsible, because a lot of what we see. And I was just reading something. I heard something about President Biden talking about coming out with more social programs. Something, did you hear? There was something alluded to that. I didn't. I just heard it, but I hadn't had a chance to study it all. But when I heard more social programs, I kind of cringed, because I said we got too many of them. We have too many of them now. So what we should do is, instead of coming up with programs, I would rather figure out a way how we can work our way out of these programs, because we're spending too much money to solve remedial things, if you know what I mean. It's almost like you can't do anything new because you're busy paying for mistakes. So what we need to do is try to eliminate the mistakes in the first place, so that any new monies coming up we can be improving things instead of putting out fires all the time.
I think you hit the nail on the head, because it seems like every time the Democrats try to come up with a solution, it's kind of under this guise of a social program. And really, it's almost like they use that to gain votes. It's like, this will help us in the now, even though down the road, it's going to lead to more breakdown of the families, more trouble. We know that kids from broken homes generally end up, with more likeliness, not necessarily, but they're more likely statistically to end up, getting involved in violent crimes or crime in general. So I feel like the Democrats just kind of blanket over it and do whatever will benefit them in the short term to get votes with social programs.
Yeah, they haven't been strategic. In other words, what I would say, and Daryl mentioned what was it like being a Republican or running as a Republican. Quite frankly, I try not to even mention the word Republican, really, because when you mention Republican, people, it just it's a distraction, and you could be saying things that people like to hear, but just the mere fact you're a Republican, they automatically go into a spasm, so to speak, and I don't want, you know what I mean? So I say, well, let's not talk. I mean, I don't even want to get into that. Usually what I do is give them my presentation. And then at the end, if they ask me, what are you, then I say, oh, and I always had to preface it by saying I'm a moderate Republican, because when you say Republican, first thing that comes to people's mouth is a MAGA, I mean, it's maybe, I'm a little naive, because when I talk to people, I like to listen to what they say. I mean, I don't prejudge, even a person that calls himself a progressive, I'm not going to not talk to them because I know they're progressive. I'm still going to talk to them. And I've seen some people I've approached and everything, in mere fact that I'm a Republican, they don't even want me to talk to them, and that's the part that really kind of bothers me a little, but they don't even want to hear what you have to say because they know you're a Republican.
You're definitely right. I was just in Virginia for 4 weeks, campaigning for a Republican Party and two candidates. And one guy's a senator. He's running for senator, and he had something on his card, little cards that they give out, and it said, America first. And so this one guy, he's like 5'3", and his son was like 10 years old, and he said, "Oh, America first. That's that's what the German used, to kill the Jews. And you guys are nothing. All y'all Republicans are evil, and all y'all Republicans, America first. You're called me a Nazi." I said, "Well, I'm a Nazi, African American. I'm a Nazi, really?" And he called the candidate a Nazi, and they listen, Alexander and Arlington. I have never seen the type of visceral hate they have for Republicans. I mean, there are people there was getting signatures and signing people up, and they were and they liked what the guy stood for. The candidate stood for. But as soon as you said Republicans, they were done. There were some people that were very done with the Republican Party, whether they want to say it's Trump or some people say, George Bush caused the war, there was no weapons of mass destruction. Or there were some people who just didn't vote, who said they didn't care for none of the politics and they didn't vote at all. And this is in Virginia. and there was some people in Portsmouth and over there by Chesapeake, Virginia. They were like, well, I can't vote. This was the black and white American citizens. They can't vote, and they refuse to vote because they had records.
You're right. Right.
And so it was just sad to see the anger, the visceral hate, that I seen in Virginia about Republicans. All Republicans are evil. And I got to the point where it was like, listen, do you think all Republicans are evil? Do I look evil to you? And then they say, no, well, just some of y'all are evil. But it's sad. It's sad how how they view people view Republican Party. Now I don't know about Maryland and the Baltimore area, but I know when I was in Virginia and mainly Arlington and Alexandria, there was a visceral hate for Republicans.
They call that the People's Republic up there, Yeah, the People's Republic. Well, actually, they call Northern Virginia could be like another state, basically, because it's so different than the rest of the state. But what gets me and everything, and I guess I'm going to try to learn not to let it get to me, is that there are people who have been, I would say, they've been indoctrinated for so many years. Like, I'm a military veteran. I've served in Vietnam, and I retired from the Army Reserve. And one of the things that they do in the military, especially when you're overseas and you're in a combat area, is that there's something called psychological operations. I don't know if you all heard of that, but what it is, it's just another word for indoctrinating people. And it's just like the media, like in Baltimore, for an example. I filed papers on November the 22nd, and the papers didn't have to be filed until I think it was February 5th or 12th, I think it was. So I filed way back in November, and it's been difficult for me to even get press because they don't talk. They just ignore the Republican candidates. It's always the Democrats.
Yeah.
Well, with that, we want to go to a station break right quick. You gotta pay for this. We'll be right back. This is the On Fire Show host, Daryl McKell Brooks and Rebecca Boyd. We are with Mr. Donald Scoggins. He is running for the mayor of Baltimore. We'll be right back.
Flip Ammo is your trusted source of high-quality ammunition. We're passionate about shooting and offer a wide range of products from bulk ammo to hard-to-find rounds, all at competitive prices. You can choose from local pickup or fast daily shipping. We are the fastest shippers in the industry. We strategically developed our space next to the UPS shipping center and can ship most orders same day till 7 p.m. Our dedicated customer service team is always available for any questions or product recommendations. Experience the passion, expertise, and exceptional service that sets us apart. Flip Ammo, your trusted source for high-quality ammunition.
Alright guys, so we got 5.56 custom built, AO-Tech, Sounds of Code Spec War suppressor, and Cerakoted in graphite black and black cherry.
I think you're muted, bro.
Yeah, Daryl, you're muted.
You're muted.
We can't hear you. Let's see if we could get his sound back on. You there, Daryl? We can't hear you. So, Donald, I got a question for you while we try to get his microphone working again. You're not getting the attention and publicity that you need from the media. They're kind of biased in that department. So how do you go about getting the word out about yourself and your message?
Well, there's been quite a few podcasts. I'm participating on shows just like this one here. Been doing that. I have been on several radio shows. It's just that I'm not getting any print media in the newspaper.
Right.
They're primarily covering there's plenty of Democrats running, but they're considered 2 or 3 major top Democrats. So those are only people that's being mentioned. Those 3. And the Republican, none of the Republicans are being mentioned. It's three of us. And
and when you go,
now, I was going to say that
like
Maryland, I was going to say Maryland is a closed primary state. So if you're a Republican, you can only vote in a Republican primary. If you're Democrat, you can only vote in a Democratic primary. So with Maryland being so blue, they're considering it whoever wins the primary, which would be May the 14th. They technically can say that's going to be the next mayor. And they almost like discount the November primary, because since whoever the Democrat wins in primary, since Baltimore's very blue, they figure that's going to be the next mayor. That's how they look at it.
Right. I think we got Daryl back.
Yeah. How you doing? Yes, I can hear. We can hear you now.
Oh, you can hear me. Cool.
Yeah, now we can.
Okay, so I just want to say, since you've been, how long have you been running? I don't know if I missed that. How long have you been running for mayor of Baltimore?
Well, I filed the papers officially on November the 22nd. And but that's when I filed the papers. But I've been making moves, I would say, probably maybe 6 or 7 months before then. And one thing I will say, and I've let everyone know about it, is that I've recently established legal residency in Baltimore. Even I've been coming over there for more than a year or so, because I was trying to figure out whether I really wanted to do this or not, because I know it's quite a challenge. But whenever I see the kids and I walk in the hoods, what they call the hood community, it's the kids that just sort of break your heart, because nobody's looking after them. The school system is bad. They have about a 3 or 4% graduation rate. The reading level is bad. Everything is, and the teachers union has such a lock on the school system. It's hard to introduce a new way of doing things over there, and the people don't see. I'm not going to say they don't care, but they've been under that condition for so long, and the Republicans are pretty much discouraged. Once things get to the point where they figure there's no hope, then that just sort of feeds into more no hope, if you know what I mean. No one really tries. And in Baltimore, it's quite corrupt. They have the newspaper media. If they don't cover the other candidates, to me, that's a corruption right there, because they don't want to introduce a new way of thinking.
At all?
Excuse me?
No media at all?
No, I said no media coverage.
Coverage.
You have the Baltimore Sun, and you have the Baltimore Sun is the major newspaper there. Then they have the Baltimore Banner, which is a nonprofit media outlet, and I think it bills itself as sort of like an alternative news source because Baltimore Sun has been sort of biased. It was a part of a larger newspaper chain, and many of them, as you probably know, over the last 5 or 6 years, new print media has been having a difficult time, so that the media there is not that great, and you have people in the General Assembly. The General Assembly is basically all Democrat. So, and a lot of the issues, a lot of the things that need to be done in Baltimore, you need to go to the General Assembly to get approval. And there are certain politicians that are Democrats will I mean, they will formulate or fumigate things that have to go on in Baltimore because it's financial. In other words, for financial reasons, they go along with certain things, but they don't have to suffer consequences because they're in another district. They don't even, they're
Right.
another part of the state, so they can be on a certain committee to decide business that's pertinent to Baltimore that's not beneficial to Baltimore. Now, Daryl, when you were in Northern Virginia, you didn't have an occasion to come through Baltimore, did you?
Yeah, I was in Maryland, but we were right over. We had an Airbnb in Maryland, and it was right over the bridge. So,
Where was that in Maryland? Can you remember?
Bowie, Maryland.
Oh, Bowie.
Bowie.
Yeah,
Maryland.
Bowie. That's Prince George's County. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
closer to D.C.
Yeah, I like Bowie.
Yeah, Bowie's a nice area. Yeah, that's a nice. Yeah. So.
Would you say, Donald, I'm curious if you have noticed any kind of a shift, with the economy getting worse and crime increasing, even just in the last couple of years, do you see people kind of waking up at all to the policies of the Democratic Party and associating the two and putting the two together? Or do you think they're still not connecting the two?
I think they're beginning to wake up. I'll put it like this: the people who seem to be, well, let me just put it this way: the older people, like in my age group and all, and maybe maybe a little bit younger and all like that. I would say, but I would say those that are up in the 50s and up, maybe, or maybe even 60 and up, they are tired of what's going on, but they are not necessarily ready to switch over to be considered Republican. So
Right.
they just want to change, but the Democrats who they put up, at least in Baltimore, the two major candidates, the Democratic candidates, are flawed. They have certain issues. So the folks would want somebody else other than those two people.
Yeah.
And the younger people, I would say those that may be 50 and under, they're probably one of the largest blocks of folks that are becoming what they call non-party affiliate. They're more or less independents. So they're not wedded to really any party. They just want to go with who they feel would be the best candidate. And I've gotten quite a bit of pretty positive reception from them because I've been promoting an economic agenda, and I'm not going out to try to necessarily recruit people for the Republican Party because I want people to vote for me, for what I'm going to do. I'm not going to get bogged down into Republican or this, that, and the other. I'm just going to be very economic focused. And the reason why I asked Daryl if he had a chance to come through Baltimore is that you've had their properties, and I don't know if you've seen them. I forgot your name again.
Rebecca.
Rebecca. Okay, Rebecca. I don't know. Have you been to Baltimore lately?
I have not lately. I've passed through before, but it's been a while.
Yeah, I would say that's worth a bus trip. Just make sure you on a bus or something and going through there. But I'm just saying that to say that I've been in the DMV, Maryland, Virginia, DC area since 1972.
Okay.
And some of these buildings have you met? They've been vacant and boarded up since then.
Yeah.
I've seen. Yeah.
Over 50 years, some of them been vacant and boarded up, and it's caused quite a blight in the city. And that's kind of like in the center part of the city where all that blight is, but that casts a pall on the entire city. When you think of Baltimore, a lot of the crime and everything happens in that center part of Baltimore, but it's enough of a devastation that it has branded almost the entire city. When you mention Baltimore, that's all people think about. They don't know about the places going up north, like close to the Baltimore City and Baltimore County line, where you have the exquisite homes, estates and things like
Right.
that are still in the city.
Yeah,
And then down by the waterfront, down by the inner
I
harbor,
was
you have
there at the waterfront. Yeah, I was
excuse
at
me?
the waterfront. I've been to the
Oh,
waterfront.
you mean in Baltimore?
Yeah, nice, awesome waterfront. I love it.
Yeah, it's nice. It has sort of small homes, the
Yeah.
what is it, sort of Old Town Alexander type homes that you see in the typical maybe up in even New England someplace. The small homes that may be 15 to 20 feet wide, they're small, maybe 1,000 square feet, but they're going for, quite a bit of money. But I'm just saying that those neighborhoods have been um, affected because their property values suffer because some people can't sell
Right.
because nobody wants to come in because of the crime,
Hmm.
and I've always said, and other people that said it too, is that the crime is a manifestation of the poverty rate there. And I have a book over here, laying on my chair near the wall. There's something called the Baltimore Business Journal,
Hmm.
and it comes out. It's a business journal, and I looked through that. I mean, Baltimore is a very wealthy area. It's very wealthy.
Hmm.
Region, Baltimore region. You have all sorts of financial management firms. You got a lot of banks and things like that. But some kind of way that money does not get into the inner city the way it should be.
Yeah. Do you
And
think?
Right.
I think it could be gotten into the city if you had different leadership. I want to be more of a business type person. I want to use my business acumen to try to bring commerce in the city and all. But one of the problems we have, and Daryl may be familiar with this, we have, and I'm going to be very honest, Rebecca, I don't mind saying this in front of you, but we have grifters in the city, or influencers, who, um, how should I put it? They foment discontent in some of these urban areas, and they say, well, oh, if you mention improving a city, the first thing some people are going to think of, oh, gentrification.
Yeah.
That word gentrification comes up.
Yeah.
So you have that. You have these influencers who are not elected to anything, but yet they're charismatic and they have a way of being able to influence people. So that if you want to do certain development, you gotta deal with that contingent, because if you don't, then they will feed, they will, what is it called, they will sow venom all throughout the place, so that you won't want, because there are some people who are very gifted, professionals and all. They say
Hmm.
Baltimore is a career killer, because you go
Mm,
there to do something, you can't get it done because and if you're in mid-career, people don't want to go someplace where they can't do something so that they can enhance their resume, or build up a career. Now with me, I'm see, you know, I mean, I'm at the end of the road, so nothing can, they can't, that doesn't bother me, so I can just say what has to be said and
Right.
get it done. But the thing that's fueling me to do this, because like I said, I filed papers on November the 22nd, and up until maybe a couple of weeks before. But here's the thing. November, okay, to establish residency, you have to have established residency 12 months before the election.
Hmm.
So that meant I would have to establish residency before November, before what is it, November the 5th. So I filed papers. When did I say I filed papers? October I must have filed in October then. I think it was. Oh, I established residency in October, which was one more than 1 year beforehand. But I filed my papers November the 22nd. That's what it was. So officially, I filed residency sometime in October. So I met the 12 months situation. But up until that time, because I had to either do it then or not do it. So I was on the fence of whether I was going to do it. And am I going to do this or am I not going to do this? Now, I'm going to say this I'm going to let Daryl know this, and I want you to hear it too, Rebecca, because this is a story that I have to tell, and I'm going to tell you that people may not like to hear it, but it's going to be very short.
We're going to go to a station break. We'll be right back.
Okay, let me make sure I tell you this story. It's not going to be long, but it's very impactful.
All right, we'll be right back.
Okay, thank you.
Nation's Gun Show at Dulles Expo in Chantilly, Virginia this weekend. 1,300 tables, over 2 miles of guns, knives, and accessories. Everything you need for the shooting, sports, and self-defense. Meet Crispy Avila at the EC Defense booth. Concealed handgun classes. The Nation's Gun Show at Dulles Expo. Friday 3 to 8, Saturday 9 to 5, Sunday 10 to 5. Advanced tickets, coupons, and more info at thenationsgunshow.com. That's thenationsgunshow.com.
Flip Ammo is your trusted source of high-quality ammunition. We're passionate about shooting and offer a wide range of products from bulk ammo to hard-to-find rounds, all at competitive prices. You can choose from local pickup or fast daily shipping. We are the fastest shippers in the industry. We strategically developed our space next to the UPS shipping center and can ship most orders same day till 7 p.m. Our dedicated customer service team is always available for any questions or product recommendations. Experience the passion, expertise, and exceptional service that sets us apart. Flip Ammo, your trusted source for high-quality ammunition.
Okay, we're back with Mr. Donald Scuggins. He's running for mayor as the GOP. All right, and you're here with Daryl Brooks and Rebecca Boyd.
Can you turn your volume up, Daryl?
Oh yeah, I needed my earbuds, but so okay. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you pretty good.
Right.
I'm going to make this real quick because I don't want to hog everything because you may want to ask some other questions.
Make this real quick so we can.
Okay, real quick. Okay, I would say about a week or two before I had to establish residency in Baltimore, I was out shaking hands and meeting people and telling them what I want to do and all like that. And I ran across this older black fella. He was sitting on a motorcycle, and I told him who I was and what I was going to do and everything. I extended my hand out to shake it, and he said, and I told him, who I was. I'm not shaking your hand. You look like one of them niggas the white man sent. That's what he told me. So when he told me that, I said, I'm running. That just, I'm 78 years old, and I've never been talked to like that before, not even by white people, and to have that kind of venom and that kind of attitude, because that, Rebecca, quite frankly, you're a very young lady, that kind of venom in thinking, and Daryl will probably agree with this, that kind of venom in thinking within our community deters a lot of the progress that can be made. You see what I mean?
Definitely, I agree.
It deters it, and some people who may not be quite a glutton for punishment like me, they would just be turned off, go out in the suburbs and live,
and be scared.
You said what? Well, I wasn't really scared. For some reason, I wasn't scared. I was just angry that somebody would talk to me that way, because most of the people were very polite,
I think it would scare a lot of people away from running, though. I think it would deter a lot of people. You have to have thick skin.
Yeah, I guess I got thick skin, all right. Well, you know what? I have thick skin, but I'll tell you this: what really propels me to do this is that I think that it's the young kids who are missing out, you know,
Yeah.
because
Yes.
you got folks like that gentleman who like you said, discourages people from getting involved, and as a result, kids don't get the kind of representation that they need to better their lives, you know.
Right,
Well, Mr.
right. And we
Scoggins,
need
I
more
just,
people taking a stand.
yeah.
Mhm,
Well, Mr. Scoggins, I just want to thank you for coming on.
mhm.
You've been a
I didn't
great
mean to
guest.
hog the show.
Oh no. Pleasure
Mhm.
having you.
Yeah,
Much
thank you.
respect.
All right, and
Thank you.
I'll give you a call in a couple days.
Yeah, do that. Just text me first. Yeah, do that. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Nice meeting you, Rebecca. Thank you very much.
Yes, nice meeting you too. Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank you. Okay.
All right. All right, we're back. This is the On Fire Show. Wow. Don't you want to run for office, Rebecca?
Hey, you never know. I got thick skin.
Oh my
Getting
God. You
thicker
gotta
by
have,
the day.
I'm getting too old, and I realize I have ran for Congress and United States Senate and Assembly in Jersey, and I realized when I was out there talking to those people, I'm getting very thin-skinned as I get
Yeah.
older. I
Yeah.
just, it's I was ready to fight and debate them to the very last breath, and you know,
It wears you down. It really does. You
yeah, thank
know?
God for people like Scoggins. Yeah, he is
That's true.
78 years old. I think the mayor of Baltimore is in his early 30s, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah, he's I've been seeing when the barge hit the bridge and the collapse,
Yep.
and the guy he's young. I mean, so it's you got to have fresh ideas and you got to have experience and you got to have also a lot of money.
Right. I think that's where a lot of people get, pushed aside is it's hard getting the funding to run because it is so expensive. A lot of times it's millions of dollars and people and if you're not getting the media coverage, if you're a conservative or a Republican, you're not getting that exposure to even get your name out there to get funding and people who want to
Hmm.
fund your campaign. So it makes it really difficult.
Oh yeah. So in the news, I mean, have you heard about Candace Owens?
No, I have not. What's the latest? Fill me in. I love
She is
Candace
she
Owens.
is gone.
Really?
She got fired. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. For
Yeah.
what crazy reason?
She was talking about Gaza and how the Israel army are just killing indiscriminately, just killing the Gazians. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard what happened with Netanyahu. I think it was yesterday, or day before yesterday. There were like 6 or 7 people that were bringing food and to the Gazians, and they just shot them down in a
It's
car.
crazy.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. People, it's I don't, and it's, but when I was in Virginia, I talked to a lot of Muslims, and
Mm-hmm.
and they were saying to me that they were not supporting Biden again because of
Yeah.
what Israel is doing to the Gazians. What I said, well, are y'all gonna support Trump? They were
Right?
like, yeah, they were like, well,
He'll have this war done, like he said, probably the first week he's in office, honestly.
yeah,
And I think everyone at this point, whether you're conservative or you're a liberal, you just want the carnage and the war to stop. So, Israel had the right to protect itself, but there is a line where things go too far, and you have to have compassion and I mean, humanitarianly, it's looking bad for them right now.
yeah. I asked some of the Muslim residents who could vote. Um, I mean, are y'all gonna if y'all don't support Trump and you're not supporting Biden, are you gonna support Robert Kennedy Jr.?
Hmm.
And that was the thing. A lot of people, but you can hear when I spoke about Robert Kennedy Jr. I heard CNN out there now. He's crazy. He's a nut. I
They're
heard he's
slamming him.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, well, Robert Kennedy was on CNN and he said that the president he believes will really hurt democracy is Biden because Biden got he got the FBI and the Secret
Right.
Service, basically to cut him off Instagram, Facebook. They
Yep.
had millions of followers.
Right.
Millions, literally millions
Right.
of followers.
Yep.
And he got cut off Twitter, he got cut off Facebook and Instagram.
Yep.
All these millions of followers, they couldn't follow no more. So yeah, he said that the biggest problem with democracy and that what president and the CNN commentator was, oh, what about Trump in January 6th? Wasn't that a threat? Well, he said, well, the biggest threat to him was Biden, and I can understand that when you have the FBI and the Homeland Security at your hands, and you can do whatever you want to do, and
That's
they
right.
basically cut them off.
Yeah.
Even with Facebook, a lot of us did the Facebook Live talk shows, and we were getting numbers. Most I've gotten was 50,000 viewers.
Yep.
Now, we may get 500.
Facebook
So-
has limited my account. I can't gain new followers, and it's very one-sided. Freedom of speech is not really allowed if you're a conservative. So I don't align with Robert Kennedy Jr. on everything, but I really agree with a lot of things that the man says. And from what I'm hearing is they think he's going to take more votes away from Biden than Trump. So I think overall he's been a good thing. He's a good voice, even for a lot of conservatives, on issues of freedom of speech and illegal immigration. So, I'm glad to hear him out there and getting some publicity.
He doesn't seem like a person. Yeah, he doesn't seem like a person that will sell out America, and that's what I like
No.
about him also. And so, the No Labels campaign is not running anyone. They just came out with a press release. They're not running anyone in the 24 election. I kind of knew that. I think that, they wanted some individuals, and and they knew that it would take votes from Biden. And so they
Right.
probably got really pressured.
Yeah. They're going to go after him like crazy. I think, they haven't even put all their cards in this game against him yet. They're losing their minds over Kennedy. He's a big threat.
And he's a big threat. And you know what they do to big threats, so you got to watch out. He needs that protection.
Yep, he sure
Look what
does.
they did to his father and his uncle. They were both big threats.
Who do you think Trump's running mate is going to be? Do you have an opinion on that?
Yeah. I would. There are some people that like Tucker Carlson. There's some that like the congresswoman. She's running for United States Senate in Arizona.
Okay.
And then I can't think of her name. But also, there's the senator in South Carolina. And, he is African American senator. And, that's a possibility.
Yeah.
He has to pick someone who's going to back him 110%.
Right.
And
I would love to see him pick Ben Carson.
Ben Carson?
I'm a fan.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Ben Carson. I would like, Ben Carson would work for me. I've met him a couple times. Very intelligent man, very intimidating.
He's brilliant.
Intimidating.
Yeah.
You're talking to him, you better say the right thing. He listens to everything.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
Well,
and he has quite the background too. He's got an amazing life story. I think would resonate with a lot of people.
Yeah, we're gonna go to a quick station break. We'll be right back.
All right, sounds good.
Alright guys, so we got 556 custom built, EO Tech, sounds of cold spec war suppressor, and Cerakoted in graphite black and black cherry.
Flip Ammo is your trusted source of high-quality ammunition. We're passionate about shooting and offer a wide range of products from bulk ammo to hard-to-find rounds, all at competitive prices. You can choose from local pickup or fast daily shipping. We are the fastest shippers in the industry. We strategically developed our space next to the UPS shipping center and can ship most orders same day till 7 p.m. Our dedicated customer service team is always available for any questions or product recommendations. Experience the passion, expertise, and exceptional service that sets us apart. Flip Ammo, your trusted source for high-quality ammunition.
All right, we're back, and we want to thank everybody for watching. Now you can watch us on, yes, Rumble. We're on Rumble. Let's get ready to rumble. And,
Yay!
yeah, you can watch us on Rumble. You know, I gotta fix the page, but it's Mr. Man 1. Mr. Man 1. I gotta fix it. But it's my first kind of Rumble page, and I want to have it on Fire show page. So, but you
Nice.
can look at it, Mr. Man 1. It's on Rumble, and I'm excited. I uploaded a lot of the videos today, so that's exciting.
Great.
So, you know.
Yeah, Rumble is a great platform. They allow more freedom of speech than a lot of the others, like YouTube.
Yeah. So we'll see everybody next week. We are going. We're going to have Debbie. Hopefully, Debbie and Chris will be back on. Also, Annette Elliott from the Nation's Gun Show. She'll be on again.
Good. Great.
So and also a special guest. I'm not going to say who the guest is, but very special guest who is friends with me and Annette, and Chris knows him. And so he has to, you know, he's a great activist for the Republican Party. So he.
Wonderful. I'm excited to find out who it is.
Yeah,
I don't know yet.
I'll tell you, but I'm not going to say yet. But hopefully he'll be on. All right. So we want to thank everybody for watching. This is the On Fire Show with Daryl McKell Brooks, Rebecca Boyd, and Chris Cloud. And he'll be back next week. I'll see you later.
Great. Have a good night, everyone.
Take care. Peace.